I still hear the ball bounce. I look down, I'm like, this guy's still working out? So he was working out. Like, it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here. And he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant, lazy. He's doing like game moves, you know? I sit there and I unlace my shoes. I'm like, oh, let's see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch. Another 25 minutes. And he got done. I said, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, you know, come back, get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us. Okay.
So without further ado, because I think that we should really spend most of our time watching them, let's take 10 minutes and dive into what Lewis Howes and the GOAT of the NBA, the greatest Laker of all time, the greatest basketball player of all time, the greatest competitor on the court of basketball of all time, the one, the only, rest in peace, Mr. Mamba Mentality, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Story that I love from Jay Williams. I don't know if you remember Jay Williams, where he did an interview a while back and he talked about how when he played you, I think the first time or one of the first times he played against you, he was like, I'm going to show up so early to the court to warm up and practice like before anyone. And he shows up at the court. I don't know if it was in LA or
I heard this story.
And you were the only one there, already shooting free throws, already doing your fundamentals. And he goes, I'm going to stay here until Kobe leaves. And then he was like, gosh, an hour and a half, 2 hours later,
I got to go.
I'm tired. And Kobe's still shooting free throws, scoring, like just going over the fundamentals. And he goes, and then we played that game and you were lights out. And he came up to you afterwards and said, like, dude, why were you in there for so long? Or how'd you do it? And he said, this is what he said, I knew you were watching and I wanted to show you that I was willing to outwork you.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this.
I remember it.
You remember, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was so powerful that you have this mindset, but how did you develop that? I don't know if that's what you call the Mamba mindset, but how did you develop that? And when did it start?
It started in
Lewis Howes, first of all, it's called Mamba Mentality, my guy. Come on, bro. That's the second time. Bro. And I'm a Kobe stan, so you know I can't stand for this. I gotta say something, bro. It's the Mamba Mentality. Come on, dog. And you're looking at the Mamba man himself in the eye. 8 minutes into the interview. I hope he wasn't doing this 80 minutes later. Come on. Dang. We're gonna find this. Right now, though. Jay Williams, Kobe story. So we're going to go find this right now. Just look at my face. Yeah. Get your girl. Tell her to look at my face. Then tell her to look at you. Then look back at me. Oh, yeah. It's me. I'm on a horse. No, it's not a horse. I'm half man, half amazing. That's a bold-faced lie. Since you don't have to cite your sources, people will say anything. And they don't expect nobody to check them or Google it or check the facts, bro. Check the facts. Facts over feelings, bro. Darvin Ham. So what we're going to do is watch the source about that story and look at how someone else perceives Kobe Bryant's mentality. Because I think it's great that we can see that Kobe Bryant says there's a challenge. I'm going to create a menu of options and I'm going to attack that challenge by going through each step of this menu in a linear process in order to be able to make sure that I'm prepared for the next time that I face it. He faced it a year later, wasn't completely prepared, but was more prepared than he was before. And 2 years later, he's the best player in the state. So in order for you to become better, it might just take 2 years of you going through something in 6-month periods, focusing on it, being hyper focused on it, and making sure that you're going to win. So when someone else sees you winning because of what you've done for your hyper focus and the time that you put in 2, 3, 4 years down the road, this might be how they perceive your greatness. Right? And it might not be to this extent because we're talking about the greatest basketball player of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant. Fight me. I'll fight you back. But maybe you're the greatest of yours. Maybe someone believes you're the best at what you're doing. Maybe someone believes in you like I believe in Kobe Bryant. Because I'll be fact. I'll be real. I'll probably lose the MJ GOAT debate. I'll probably lose. We're going to jump on over to Jay Williams to finish this out, man. Come on, ESPN's finest.
I committed suicide. I tried to cut my wrist. I have this tattoo on my wrist that says believe, because my mother's always talked about either if you don't believe in yourself, then who's going to believe in you? And I think that was one of the benefits
Facts.
of being an athlete that was always overlooked, in my opinion.
my mama will believe
It
in me
forced
when I
to
don't.
work harder. You know, look, I always
I
try
need
to
that.
outwork people, right? That's just how
My friends,
I made
my
mark.
family, my
So the
loved
game
ones
was
will
at
believe in me
7.
when I don't.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come to the Staples Center because we were playing. This is when the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq. Okay, this is like the championship Lakers. So I'm gonna get there at 3 o'clock. I want to make sure I make 400 made shots before I go back into the room, and then I sit in the sauna.
It's
I get ready. Who do I
400.
see? I see Kobe Bryant already working out. So once I set my foot across that line, I started working out. And so I worked out for a good hour and a half. And when I came off, after I was done, I sat down, and of course I still heard the ball bouncing. I look down, I'm like, this guy's still working out? So he was working out. Like, it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here. And he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant, lazy. He's doing like game moves. You know, I sit there and I unlace my shoes. I'm like, let me see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch another 25 minutes. And he got done. I said, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, you know, come back, get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us, okay? And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that. Right. So after the game was over, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in. and I wanted you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
Wow.
You inspire me to be better.
Right.
And it was the first time I started to see this level of competitiveness where I said, I need to start doing more.
Right.
Wow. But you never get better if you're not willing to put in the time. And basketball is very similar to the game of life. There's going to be ups and downs. It's not always going to be easy. There are going to be challenges. There's still going to be curveballs thrown at me. But if you put in the work and you constantly put in the work, that's the only way you're going to grow.
Put in the work. So today we talked about looking at Kobe Bryant as an example for how to create menus of options in order to be able to strategically address some of the challenges that you are facing or some of the goals that you want to reach. Create a menu of options, break it down into 6-month segments, and address that. What are 4 things that you need to do that will help you to be more prepared to achieve your goal? I told you mine. I want to become a better program manager. I want to be able to handle and be able to go on to be a portfolio manager. That requires work and effort. But I have a 18-month plan on how I can continue to improve myself and upskill professionally. Kobe Bryant saw how he can upskill in basketball, which became his profession. How can you upskill over the next 18 months and make yourself a little bit better than your competition? So that way you can stand out and you can achieve and you can win what's best for you. I don't like the gray. Not the color, not the shade. You can't pay me to stay or behave when my love sits in the gray. I'm a man at his finest. I deserve clarity at its finest. I want your love at its finest. Your love's fickle, so your love cells act sickle. Unable to fight back the human urges, it purges my heart's matter, served it grilled on a platter. What's even sadder is you want 3 types of love. The first from up above, praise God. The second from yourself, the true inner wealth. And the last from a man, if he has a plan. But you don't think I'm it. Let's cut the bullshit. You love my height, smile, work ethic. I'm what you know you need, but you have greed. More scared about what might be than what you need. It's the feed of flesh, not the food for the soul. Our love is on a roll, but every hiccup...